All right, want to be smoke-free because it's healthier for the tenants and the staff. It's more cost-effective at unit turnover, and it's just the right thing to do.
And how would you describe your residents?
Primarily low-income and or low-income and homeless.
I think it's a good idea because it promotes a healthy living and it decreases property damage to the unit, the cost of a turnover.
Include the health of our residents first and foremost, health and safety of our residents. Certainly there are many business reasons why an owner would adopt a smoke-free policy, lowering costs and operating costs. And then the safety of possibility of a fire, certainly a dramatic event at an apartment property. And so the building preservation and building value preservation is a big reason to adopt a policy. And then just going green. We want to embrace green policies and green strategies. So certainly no smoking policies fit very well with the green strategy.
Yeah. And in your opinion, are there any legal dangers or concerns for a property to ban smoking?
I don't see any reason why that would be an issue. People who smoke are not a protected class.
Right. Do you think that, for the most part, that companies would ever revert back and once they adopt a smoke-free policy?
No, I think it's a trend that's going to continue to grow in popularity. I think that more and more property management companies and individual owners are going to adopt no smoking policies, and eventually it's going to be the norm and not the exception. But I was going to mention insurance as well. Some insurance companies offer a discount. I know CIG does. Offers a discount and savings if you have a policy. So financially for your owner, that's a big reason to go with a policy.
In the low-income community, we have a lot of people who are already at odds, and there's a lot of health issues, a lot of economic disparity, and they deserve just as much of a right to live in smoke-free housing as someone who can afford a $3,000, $1,000, $800 apartment. And so we need to be providing for our low socioeconomic people the same healthy lifestyles and benefits that those who do have more money have.
But so we're going to talk about some things that you might not know for a minute and look at the health aspects of tobacco use. So it's actually the leading preventable cause of death, tobacco use. So you add all these other preventable causes of death, you total them together, you don't come close to the number of folks that die from tobacco use. And because when I talk about secondhand smoke, I think that we all pretty much know, but basically it's the smoke that comes from the cigarette or is exhaled by the smoker, goes into the air, but we know now that there's no safe level of exposure. And in 2008 is when the big reports came out and the Surgeon General officially announced that there's no safe level of exposure and we should actually eliminate smoking from our units because it's going through one unit into the next and people are being exposed. We know that infants, young children, they're exposed to more secondhand smoke, which makes sense, right? As you get older, mommy is smoking next to you or daddy, you don't like it, you can sort of move away, right? There's a famous tobacco executive quote that said, what do you think about parents smoking around their children? And his quote was, well, if they don't like it, they could crawl away.
So what we found out in Washington State is that 92% of renters prefer to live in smoke-free housing. That's a big number. Over 50% of your renters who do smoke already have a policy, okay? They're going to probably smoke outside already. They probably do.
The property is not on board and you're the only person here from your office and you have to go back and sell them on this. You want to go to smokefreewashington.com. There's the data there. It talks about how your bottom line will be improved, secondhand smoke information, and then the one on the right, the 4 steps to smoke-free housing. So develop the policy, communicate it with residents, tell them about it, apply the rule, and then enforce the rule. But I think that folks are pretty familiar with the lease addendum, the process for that. And then this is just what it looks like. And this is not only a place for us, but actually residents can go there. So this is really a sort of a discussion area for the state around smoke-free housing. And so there's lots of different tools here. There's landlord-tenant issues here. There's a whole section for landlords, a whole section for tenants. And then there's sample letters for every cause that you can imagine. Like my neighbor is smoking, what do I do? I'm a resident and my condo board's not on board with this. So what do I do? So there's a letter for that. There's a letter for talking with managers, etc.
As of board resolution yesterday, RHA is now 100% smoke-free.
Yay!